Okay, we are in a room in Bacchus Marsh today, or Darley, and we have a beehive coming and going under the veranda there. See some bees coming in there. Anyway, the hive goes along this white line that you can see just here, on there, and obviously I cut a bit longer than I need to so I can get into the hive a bit easier. But there we go. It's been a month or so since I've done a cutout. I've been a bit sick and I've finally recovered. Thankfully not COVID, but other issues. So yay, back to it and getting things done. Okay, I've done the cuts along there and cut a little. I took the skirting off and cut a little bit there. In some cases, the floorboarding doesn't go all the way under the framework, and I can lift it without cutting it. In some cases I've got to cut it, so I'm hoping this is the first of the two options, but we'll see. Okay, so that's part of the hive. I'll have to put a block in when I put this back together, but anyway, you can see it's got some small hive beetle down there, which is a pest. This is the honey section. Brood will be up in under there. I'm trying not to cut that section out. I'm hoping to be able to do that from just this piece, because that piece will be much harder to put back in. Anyway, let's cut this honey stuff out. There you go, you can see some more hive beetle just there. The bees will harass them and attack them, as a weak hive will be destroyed by hive beetle. Anyway, let's cut this honey out so we can get this piece out and then work from there. Decent size hive. Okay, so cut enough to get this piece of timber out. I've got to clean it up a bit, but I'll now start getting these chunks of honey out and we'll work our way to the brood nest. Huge majority of this honey will get crushed down and put in a feeder lid so the bees can get it back in their own hive. Getting the honey out slowly. It's very messy. A lot of that's brand new comb. The season's been really bad this year with all the rain, and bees haven't been bringing much in, but we've had a bit of a break from the rain at the moment and things are still flowering, so bees are massively bringing in honey and making fresh comb really fast, and so this hive's done exactly that, and the comb just breaks apart in my hands, and yeah, it's not a fun relocation when the comb's so fresh and just dissolves, but we get in there and we'll clean up the honey at the end. We've pretty much emptied this cavity except for the excess honey and a little bit of comb on the back wall. We now need to get into that, which is going to be difficult without lifting the timber, so unfortunately I'm going to have to lift the timber, which I was trying to avoid. The other option is I do use the bee vacuum early before I've got the hive full of babies and everything, but that's going to get messy. So yeah, it's not an easy relocation, this one. Okay, I've been bee vacuum, which is set up over there, and cleaning up the windows and whatnot. I also did have to cut along that section just so I could lift the boards enough with the screwdriver and that, so that I could get over that piece of timber that's just there with the comb. You can see the back of the hive over there. Oh, down there, that's the back of the hive. So it's a little bit easier from here. We'll keep getting comb out, catch the queen and continue bee-vacking. Then I'll have to go to the hardware store to get some timber to when I put this back together. Okay, I've cleaned up most of the honey in that section and we've just got in there to go. If the queen's run behind that board at the back, we'll get some eucalyptus oil and spray it in from the outside and push her back into this cavity. But yeah, we'll clean up the comb at the bottom first and then we'll start bee-vacking. Okay, so I had to take more out because it got a fair whack more complicated. You can see I put a periscope camera through and saw a lot more comb in this thick section, and that's where also Queenie is. So fun times. We'll take that triangle out, get the comb and the queen, and then continue. Okay, we've cleaned up this cavity, we cleaned up that cavity, started to clean up this cavity. Decent size hive, queen's still in there somewhere. You can see there's a piece of bracing timber there under the window and comb to the left and right of it, and there's more comb and queen's still in that's in the back there. So we're getting there, almost all the comb's out. Once I get all the comb out, I'll be back for a bit and then go get the timber I need to put this back together and then finish off bee-vacking. Okay, pretty much it's most of the comb's out. The queen's over there. Yeah, if we can even focus in there. No, not very well. And anyway, queen's in there. I'm going to go outside and spray eucalyptus oil from the outside and push her back this way and see what happens. So the eucalyptus oil did its thing, pushed the huge majority of bees out of the cavity, and I bee-vacked queen in the mad exit. So I was starting to pack up, I'd pack the table and everything away, and I noticed a bit of activity under the that join where the cornice is, where there's a gap under, and it looks like there's a little bit more in the cavity next to it, so I'm going to just cut a hole to get that out, and frustrating. So it's not a heap more, but it's enough to be a nuisance if it's not taken out. So yay, these girls had really oops, sorry, I just got chased by a bee. I've taken my bee suit off. Anyway, yeah, these girls have really been adventurous in their location. We have the bees in that box, the brood in that box. I started filling the cavity with old clothing, and there's one or two bees hanging around outside, so on the whole got most of them. I've just got to utilise that timber there to put some bracing across against the wall so I can put the boards back on, and then we're done. But I'll just take the bees out first. I've put several panels back in so far. I had to put bracing timber over on up against the window and bracing timber along there and over there. So yeah, and I filled the cavity with as much clothing as they provided. So yay, now we'll just put the last piece in and we'll pack up and roll the carpet back. Flooring's back. I haven't put the skirting on or the carpet stuff back. The mother of the lady would like to just clean up first. I was going to dustpan and that, but she wants to vacuum. So yeah, all done. I'm told the son-in-law will put the skirting back on and everything, so it's all good. Another one done, but a little bit more difficult than expected.